Okay, we are joined by Lafayette College head coach John Troxel, senior offensive lineman Ryder Langsdale, and senior safety Sekou White. So, Coach, we'll open it up to you for an opening statement and then take questions for our student athletes.
Thanks, Ryan. Heading into year 3 here, we've had some success. Obviously, credit to the 2023 team, that we were picked as the favorite in the league. We still have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of good kids returning, but we weren't by any stretch of the imagination a perfect team a year ago. So I think the standard's been raised here. We've had 102 guys on campus this summer, training and getting ready for the season. So I think there's a lot of excitement around here at Lafayette, from our alumni to our administration to our players. So we're excited for what lies ahead and looking forward to a really exciting 2024 season.
Thank you very much, Coach. We'll open it up first. Questions for our student athletes, and we'll recognize Maria Travelpiece from the Patriot League first.
Thanks, Ryan. This one could be for whoever would like to answer it, but obviously Coach talked about the preseason poll and then you guys winning a share of the Patriot League title last year. Does that bring pressure along with it? And if so, how do you handle that pressure?
Yeah, obviously, I think it just puts a target in our back. I don't necessarily there's pressure on us because you want to succeed or be successful at the end of the season, but I think it's more an internal pressure just to make sure that we hit on all our P's and Q's so we can hoist that trophy up again at the end of the season.
Oops, sorry, Gary, go ahead.
Ryder and Sekou, first of all, congratulations on the All-American selections. Great honor. You guys been around now from year 1 to this point. Can you kind of point out what the roadmap has been to go from where you were to having everyone in the league pick you to win the championship this year?
It's definitely been a long road, a lot of work, but at the end of the day, we've been working hard for a while now, and we're exactly where we want to be. We have a target on our back, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. Because it's a good thing, it means we worked hard, we've gotten the acknowledgement we've wanted, but it means we got to keep working, we got to keep staying at the top, we got to prove everybody right.
Yeah, I also think it's a testament to the staff as well. They kind of came in and changed the culture, before our sophomore season in 2022. But I think it's really after that different motivation, especially having some alumni come back. So not only they wanted us players, but they kind of showed us what we need to do in the off season, during camp, during the season, just to be champions at the end of the year.
There's got to be a little bit of security knowing you've got 8 starters back on both sides of the ball. So a team that's very familiar with one another, that has to be a big boost going into the season.
Absolutely it is, because you already have that built-in chemistry. So, everybody else said will be filling in those vacancies. They played as well, so they got experience under their belt and know what they're doing. So looking forward to hitting the ground running.
Hey guys, just in terms of building on what you're talking about, culture, over the last couple of years, do you feel like the culture change really kicked in last year, or was it the year before, or was it some point during the point of the last season where it really everything seemed to come together?
I would say it definitely started at the end of our first year, but we didn't really see the fruits of our labor until the second year. Winning our first game against Sacred Heart, our second year, Duke was a tough game, but then after that, we kind of got on a roll. And we always knew that we had the talent that it took to win games. It was just a matter of winning the games, that getting confidence and getting on a winning streak. That really helped.
Do we have any more questions for our student athletes? Oh, go ahead, Mike Joseph.
Yeah, Sekou, you've been involved with a lot of great defenses while you've been at Lafayette. What's it like now to have an offense that can answer and put points up, and you don't have to be perfect defensively every week?
Yeah, it's complimentary football. That's the best way to phrase it. But even more having an off game, we can always have faith in the offense, go put up some points, and that kind of even when you are having an off game, it kind of makes you step up to the plate when you're slacking a little bit defensively. So you're making sure the offense doesn't have to do all the work because shootouts don't look good on our stat books. So it just makes us kind of play harder, just so we can get the ball back faster to them, so we can go put more points on the board.
Okay, do we have any more questions for the student athletes? Oh, go ahead, Chuck.
Hey, I just wanted to ask you guys about, like, obviously you guys have, you've been in the system a while. It's like I wanted to talk about like balancing your work-life balance as an athlete, as a student, because it's obviously they're not easy classes at Lafayette. It's a very rigorous academic landscape. So I just want to ask how you guys manage your time and how you're able to do both, to be at such a high level.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely very difficult. I guess the main thing we do is, I mean, the coaches do a great job making sure that we have study hall hours for anyone that's struggling in classes. It's mandatory that we go to class and all that. So I think the coaches do a great job instilling the fact that we are student athletes. We're not just athletes. We have to go to class. We have to get good grades. And being at a good school like Lafayette, it's really beneficial for the long run to get good grades. And so I think everyone here realizes that. And it might be tough, but at the end of the day, you're at a good school playing a D1 sport. It's going to be tough no matter what you do. So you just got to buckle down and do it.
Yeah, to piggyback off of Ryder, I think the staff does a great job structuring meetings, practice, and stuff like that around our academic schedules, just so we make sure we prioritize our academics first, so we can stay eligible and be successful on the field and off the field.
Any more questions for our student athletes? Okay, Sekou, Ryder, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to increase the spotlight here for Coach Troxel, and then we will open it up questions for Coach Troxel. Okay, go ahead. Maria, I'll go to you first.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Hi, Coach. How are you?
Hi, Maria. Doing well, thanks.
So you kind of alluded to it a little bit in your opening statement, just like getting picked in the preseason poll, but also you weren't perfect last year. There's still things that you need to hone in on. Can you touch on some of those things that you really want to see your team improve on this upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, I think our kick game can still get a lot better. Even in critical games that we lost, turnovers were critical. So I mean, we got to keep emphasizing that. And really, I think for us, still trying to achieve the goals that we're setting out for ourselves. I mean, you heard our guys just speak about, like having the target on your back. Well, I mean, I haven't talked to the team yet because we haven't arrived, but, I mean, if you're still hunting, you can't be the hunted, So, for me, hopefully for our guys, there's more to achieve. We have a great group of kids. So really, I mean, just, coming to work every day, and I can't say enough about the effort that the kids have put in on their own, so in a sense, right, we do so much with them, but, watching them down here on their own on the jugs machine or getting extra runs in or foam rolling and taking care of their bodies. So, I think all those little things off the field, we can still keep getting better at. That'll give us a great chance in the end of this thing.
John, no position more important than quarterback, and obviously Dean got hurt at the end of the season last year. Talk a little bit about his physical progress, and talk a little bit about Jamar Curtis, who has gotten everyone's attention in the FCS.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about two really, really good players. I mean, yeah, Dean got hurt at the end. You saw in the Delaware game, it had a little bit of an effect on us. He's back healthy, so he was in spring ball, and he's been out here running and doing all the things necessary to get himself ready for a season. So we're expecting big things out of him. I mean, as no matter what level you talk about, everybody always talks about the trigger man and who that is, and you have to have someone in that position if you're going to have success as a team. And I think he's also a great guy for that room to help mold some of the other guys in that room. so that God forbid something were to happen to him, that we have some depth behind him. And Jamar, I mean, man, there's just nobody who works as hard as that kid. I mean, he's first in every sprint. He's got a little chip on his shoulder. I mean, no one offered him out of high school. We were the only ones to offer him a scholarship. So, I'm sure he plays with a little bit of a chip, but he's just an incredible football player, and gets in space and he makes things happen. And he's a great compliment to Dean in the backfield there. So, you can't just be focused on trying to stop Jamar, because you got Dean who can throw it down the field to some guys, and vice versa. So, they're a great compliment to each other.
Can you talk a little bit about getting ready for Buffalo?
Oh, man, I mean, that's the goal. I mean, that's what all preseason is going to be about. We've already started to do some work on them. Obviously, they got a new staff. Coach Lembo was at Lehigh for years. He does a great job. We're going to have to play, our best brand of football. I mean, we're going to have to be ready to go. I think one of the things, when we look at our team, is we're going to have a ton of depth, which will be critical, especially early in the season with the heat, so that we don't gas out at the end. But when you look at our defensive line, I think we have 10, 11, maybe even 12 guys that can get out there on the field for us. Offensive line will have more depth, I think, going into this year. And same with our receiving core and our backs. And so, we just feel that we've gotten a good group of kids that, if we can put them out there, we're going to put them out there. So I think you'll see early on that this group, is competing, for their spot. Nothing's given, everything's earned, and they've worked really hard. So we'll have a good situation, I think, collectively as a team depth wise.
Hey, Coach. If you could talk a little bit more about scheduling for a minute. It's like I know the Duke game was a big challenge for you guys, but do you think that helped set you up for future success? Obviously, your season was a huge success after that game. And do you think that that's something you think is a really good thing for your schedule going forward, having just an FBS school on the schedule like you do this year?
Yeah, Duke was a coming out party for us a little bit, right? You lose a game and you wonder how the kids are going to react, but you throw on the tape and you teach from it. And I think our guys saw, that, they're no different than us in terms of human beings, right? Might be a little bigger, faster, stronger, but we battled for a while in that game. So I think it really gave us a lot of confidence moving forward into the league. And I'm a big proponent. Yeah, I mean, I want to play those games. I want our kids to have that experience, want them to have the challenge of competing against a high level. I think it does wonders for you when you get to the playoffs that you've played against someone who is from the FBS level. And I think when you look at what everybody's done in this league, they've battled against some really good teams. I mean, Holy Cross a year ago almost took Boston College down. And I'm hoping that that's where we get our program, where we can compete at that level and get some upsets, over an FBS opponent.
Okay, we'll go final question for Coach Troxel from Mike Joseph.
Hey, Trox. Real
Coach.
quick, you had tremendous, from those of us that are closest to the program, leadership last year through Marco Olivas and obviously Mike Barr and Olmstead and some of those guys. Do you look for a few guys to step up? You don't have to name any names, but that was, I thought, one of the tremendous things that held that group together and got you on that run. What can you say about that?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, anytime you have success, it comes down to senior leadership. And, I think we have, I think what's really incredible about this group, and I've seen it already this summer, is that, while we have 4 great captains and great players and those guys, there's more leadership behind them. I think the standard's been set. I think guys hold each other accountable, and accountability is a big part of it. Understanding your role, being a team player and really making it about all of us and not about any one guy. So I think our kids have kind of understood that. And, the best teams are player-led teams, and I'm looking forward to watching the leadership develop on this team. I think we do have an incredible group of guys that are really passionate about football, love this, and are going to hold everybody to the same standard.